Hello, looks like we're live. I'm having a bit of trouble with audio right now, so let me know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, I don't know what to say. Wow, a lot of people waiting right now. That's great. Well, we got 10 people waiting. We've got the vegan Wujita. Very cool. And Leon is here too. That's excellent, guys. Okay. I don't know if anyone can hear me. If not, I don't know what we're going to do. I've been trying to work this out for about 20 minutes. No reply in the chat just yet. I think we've got a 20-second delay. Ah, loud and clear. Hey! Brilliant. Okay. Oh, and Vegan Gaze is here too. Excellent. The whole gang is together. Okay. Share this out and smash like. Very kind. Who's this? Iona Coppin. Nice to see you, Iona. Wow. Okay, this is my first stream. I'm very excited. You are seen and heard. Brilliant. Okay, so I figure today we're going to go for a sort of Ask Me Anything type thing. And I also want to look at this Ask Reddit post that I made and sort of go through all these different reasons that people give and go through why they're wrong, basically. So the question is, what's stopping you from going vegan? Okay. A lot of people were offended by this, apparently. But we'll start with the first one here. We've got, I like eating meat. And you know what? I got to give it to them because that's an honest answer. I don't think it's a good enough reason to eat murdered animals, but I admire their honesty. Let's keep going. Okay, I've got a real genuine concern here, a food bank. If you're relying on a food bank, you're not the kind of person that I'm going to push my views down your throat, you know. At the end of the day, we all got to survive, and if we're in a survival situation, that's like the one situation I can see being justifiable to do what you need to do. That said, if you are going to a food bank, you could always ask for vegan items. A lot of people donate money to food banks, so if there's a little demand there, you know, a lot of food banks just give vegetarian food anyway. I'm not sure if they give vegan, because vegetables are cheaper. Oh, we've got it all kicking off in the chat now. I'm already doomed. Okay. Brilliant. I'm glad it's all kicking off, guys. Got 9 people watching right now. I'm very excited. Meat is tasty and I'm allergic to wheat. Okay, so this person is probably thinking about seitan and that kind of thing. And to be fair to him, a lot of meat alternatives, like fake vegan meats, do have wheat in them. But that's not to say that you can't be vegan and avoid wheat too. I'm assuming they're allergic to gluten. There's actually a subreddit. Maybe I can share it. If you just bear with me. I'm doing this all on my own, so. Okay. I'm just sort of figuring this stuff out as we go as well, so please bear with. Okay, I think you can all see what I'm looking at. You've got gluten-free vegan, I think it's called. Yeah, gluten-free vegan. There's 15,000 people in here. And look at this. We've got some delicious food right here. Sticky pomegranate glazed tofu stir fry. Looks lush. I'll just skip past that one. But here's a cookie. Well, that looks amazing. Coconut mini cheesecakes. What we got there? No-bake gluten-free Christmas cake. Crispy roast potatoes. Cookies again. I don't know what they are, but I want those balls in my mouth. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing that now. Okay. So you can see you can be vegan and gluten-free at the same time. I'm not going to pretend it's the easiest. But, you know, I think, like, changing your diet, even if it's not to a vegan diet, just changing your diet in general is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It doesn't have to be a big challenge, but in the beginning, you have to work out what you want to eat. So there's people who try keto or paleo or, I don't know, maybe they eat raw foods, or maybe they're on a juice cleanse, or all of these fad diets and different diets. It takes a bit of planning to start, okay? And if you choose a plant-based diet, it's just going to be the same. But you'll get into it soon enough. Okay, this person says, although I understand the animal cruelty aspect of the vegan lifestyle, most of the animal products I personally eat come from my friends who raise their own chickens and goats in a humane way. Okay. I see nothing wrong with consuming humane animal products, and humane eggs taste so much better than grocery store eggs. Okay, I do take issue with this word, humane. Well, let's start with humane eggs, okay? 99.9% of the eggs you're going to buy, for every hen that you can see on the farm, there's a dead brother, grounded alive in a macerator or gassed or suffocated. So even the hens who have the best life in the world, and there's not many of them, aren't humane. You are still paying for male chicks to be killed. And also, maybe you have a friend who has backyard chickens. They might even be rescue chickens from a slaughterhouse or whatnot. These chickens use so much of their calcium and nutrients to deliver an egg. I heard it's 10% of their calcium, but don't quote me on that. So a lot of people like to feed the eggs back to the chickens, and a lot of sanctuaries do this. And it's important to remember as well that the sort of chicken we think of these days, a farmed chicken, they lay 250 eggs a year, I believe. And in the wild, they'd lay maybe 15. So it is really pushing the boundaries of what their bodies are able to do. So it's pretty sad. And there's a little implant you can get for a rescue chicken. It's about the size of a grain of rice. And it's a sort of hormonal implant, so they lay fewer eggs. But aside from that, what else is he saying? Humane goats. I don't know much about farming goats, but I will say if it's anything similar to farming cows for their dairy, for their milk, then we've got a similar problem to the eggs where we're going to kill the males or, sell them for cheap meat and that. Okay, let's take a look in the chat now. It's all kicking off. I see James Skinner is here. He says, hey, Reese. Hey, James Skinner. Nice to see you. Okay. Vegan gays. Some people really seem to think gluten has something to do with veganism. Yeah, I think people find it trendy. Vegan is trendy. And I kind of get it. Maybe it is. Plant-based eating is trendy. And a lot of people like to say they're gluten-free when indeed they're not. I know it's a real thing. My sister is gluten intolerant. But a lot of people jump on it anyway. Fi or Pi is here. They say ba ha 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 ha. That's a pretty good impression of a sheep right there. Maybe we'll talk about sheep later on. Oh, Fi loves me. That's brilliant. I love you too, Fi. Okay. What else we got here? The Vegan Mujita has just subscribed to me. You're so kind. Brilliant. 10% calcium, Reese 2020. Yeah, you'll be seeing that in books soon enough, science books. Still exploiting them. They're animals, so I'm going to have to pass on the animal farming. I totally agree. I think there's no need for animal farming. Full stop. I think we can all agree on that one. Okay, so we keep going. Meat is rather tasty, but I do agree that a lot of animals are treated awful and we kind of turn a blind eye to it. I can't say anything about that. Absolutely correct. The suffering is the flavour. All right, we'll just scroll past that edgy teen right there. Successful Successful. I'm going to try one more time. Successful farmers don't treat their animals awfully because that will minimize their profit potential. Those that do treat their animals badly don't stay in business long. I don't know how much this person knows about animal agriculture. At the moment, I'm working on a video for Sunday. It's called Let's Talk About Dairy. It's sort of a dairy is scary kind of vibe. And I've been looking into all sorts of things that they do. So forceful impregnation, which we might call something else in a human context, A supernumerary teat. A lot of cows were born with an extra nipple. And to get rid of those, we just cut them off with a pair of scissors. For eggs, we grind up baby chicks alive, male chicks. Pigs. We lower them into gas chambers. We cut out their teeth. We cut off their tails. We pull their balls out in a lot of circumstances. So that's all standard practice. So I think people who treat their animals badly do stay in business long, unfortunately. What About B12 is here. Excellent. I discovered What About B12 yesterday, I think, and I really enjoyed his content. He's got a video at the moment. He's trying to give away vegan chocolate. A lot of people just walking past. It's a stranger trying to give sweets, right? But he got a good... He was quite successful, actually, and he's got a really cool intro, which is the reason I stayed. What About B12? Is that a full music video, or will you be making a full music video for that? Because that's the kind of thing that I could see going viral. It's really cool. Okay, I'm going to stop fanboying over What About B12 now. Okay. Oh, Let's Talk About Pork is a good vid regarding that. Thank you, Leon. Okay, what else we got here? Poor accessibility of a healthy, balanced vegan diet. Expensive, hard to find, requires time and energy to research and plan it out, though expected to change in the future. I think in the majority of the world, it's very easy to find vegetables, beans, seeds, herbs and spices, fruit. I mean, meat, dairy, eggs are the luxury in many places, the same way that the vegan alternatives are. I think when people say that veganism is expensive, what they're saying is vegan meats are expensive. And that's, it's true sometimes, it's not true other times. Like, I was in Asda, I think it might have been Morrison's a few days ago. £1.75 for 8 meat-free burgers. At the same time, you can get 2 Beyond Meat burgers, and that costs £5. So there's a whole range there. If you do want to just swap meat for fake meat, similar with cheese, although I will say cheese is still a little bit on the more expensive side. Soy milk is the same price as cow's milk if you know where to go. You can get a litre of soy milk for 50p in Tesco, I believe, which is, it's not an excuse. There's almost no excuse, right? When you're bringing up veganism being expensive, it's impossible. When I lived in Manchester with some of my friends, I just paid for my own food, nobody else, right? And I was spending 20, maybe £25 a week on myself, and that was sort of whole food, plant-based, with 1 or 2 fake meats thrown in. So it's cheap. It really is cheap. Unless you're, in a very, very remote part of the world where there's not a supermarket, then you can't use this excuse. Most people have access to supermarkets, especially in developed countries and in the West. James Skinner has a very good point here. It's only the tax subsidies which make non-vegan foods cheap. The moment it's taken away, it's the same, if not more, in price. Absolutely right. I think in the US, a third of the price is subsidized. And I think in the UK, it's not awfully different. Don't take my word on this. Don't take the stats. You can look it all up yourself. But that's what I seem to remember. Leon says he's spending 150 to 200 euros a month for 2 people. That's not too bad at all, actually. And I believe Leon is in the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's more expensive there. I did go to the Netherlands a few years ago, but I was vegetarian at that point. A bit embarrassing to say now, but I was buying a lot of cheese and things at that time. BM Actual says, but what I eat for Christmas if I no eat turkey? It's a very good question. You're just going to have to starve, mate, to be honest. Fee lives in a food desert and is still vegan. Well, there you go. There's proof right there. You know what I would love to do is take a month and live somewhere which is classified as a food desert and just see for myself whether it's an excuse. But Fee is saying it is fine. So the vegan Wojita, guys, buying a car is expensive. Haven't you seen the price of Ferraris? There you go. That's excellent. Next time someone says this to you, that veganism is expensive, just say this back to them. Okay, let's finally get to point 2. Have yet to try a passable vegan alternative to milk-based cheese. Kefir, I don't know kefir. Ice cream, sour cream. Ice cream, if you want to go the best of the best, Ben & Jerry's is legit. The brownie one is my favourite. I think the Netflix one, I don't know what Netflix favourite is. I think that one's vegan too. It's expensive. It is expensive. I think Vegan Gaze was talking about this recently when she did her tier of vegan foods. and she had to put it in a lower tier because of the price, and I totally agree with that. Although Morrison's chocolate ice cream, or nice cream, or whatever you want to call it, is really, really good. I've given it to my Omni father, and he likes it. He says it tastes legit, so... Okay. Leon. Reese. Honestly, within that approximation of money, I even buy some luxury products here and there. Take it out of the equation, it's about €100 to 120. Awesome. Yeah, see, it's totally doable. BM Actual, Aldi do a sick vegan ice cream. You heard it here first, guys. BM Actual says go to Aldi, get some sick vegan ice cream. Okay. So delicious is cheese is a mouthgasm and perfect for vegan mac, especially if you add some nooch. I'm going to say something really controversial here, guys. Don't unsubscribe. I'm not a fan of nooch. I'm not a fan of nutritional yeast. I've tried it. I've tried it in food. I've tried it on its own. I just can't get behind it. It's disgusting. I don't know how you guys eat it, but fair play. Fair play. Okay. Chocolate ice cream is 80p and it slaps. 80p? That can't be true. 80p? Okay. James Skinner, stop eating dairy-based cheese for 3 weeks, then try vegan cheese. Completely different. You can't compare vegan to dairy cheese. There's no casomorphines to give you that buzz. Yes, I was looking at... It might have been What the Health, and they're talking about casomorphines. Sort of very, very... it's very similar to the sort of high you would get from heroin, but on a very, very much smaller scale. So it is actually an addiction to eat cheese. But I do agree that your taste changes very quickly. So after a few weeks of not consuming cheese or cow's milk, you start to not actually like it. After I stopped consuming cow's milk, I smelt it after a little bit, and now it just smells like when you go to a farm and you smell cow poo. It's that smell. I smell cow poo when I smell cow's milk. So now, even if I stopped being vegan for whatever reason, I don't think I could ever go back to cow's milk. It's just too disgusting now. No! Oh, no! Paula Dean's butt butter says I'm cancelled in the vegan community. Who else is unsubscribed? The vegan Mujita, you just subscribed, man. Oh my god. Vegan Gaze is unsubbed, unlike blocked, reported. Fee, I've never tried nooch. Okay. If you just don't eat it, we can be on the same side. But I think you're probably going to like it. Oh, wow. Okay, anarchy in the chat. 80p. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm going to Morrison's after this. Okay. So while I'm going through this, guys, you're very welcome to post some questions in the chat. I've sort of got this as a sort of... just a jumping off point, really. So that we have something to talk about, especially if nobody showed up. Oh, we've got someone new in the chat. Stupid vegan. I find it easy to find good vegan ice cream, but I'm not too picky. I find it difficult to find good vegan cheeses. Nooch is great, IMO. I like chow cheese, Violife, and Tree Line. I hadn't heard of two of those. I've heard of Violife, and I like Violife. The best one in the UK that I found is Applewood. Smoked cheese, but you got to be careful because they do cow's cheese and vegan cheese, so do be careful. But they usually put all the vegan cheeses together. What else we got in here? Like plain Kite Hills as a sour cream substitute. I don't know any of these, but I'm going to have to look them up. Leon says, don't stop doing your veganism nor activism, mate. You're doing a hecking good job. That's really nice. That's really nice. Fee says, what are your tips for becoming an activist? Okay, so I was vegan for, I'm going to say about a year, more or less now. I've been vegan for about a year, which I know is not very long. The last time I ate meat, though, was when I was age 9. I went to vegetarian after that. And, you know, I believed that was enough for a while. Then I started to learn about what was wrong with the dairy and egg industries. And then I had this sort of cognitive dissonance going on, like you see with people trying to defend eating meat. That was me with cheese. and eggs, unfortunately. Eventually, I said to myself, you know what, Reese, you got to stop being a hypocrite and just live by your own morals. So I did. I started being vegan. I started seeing an improvement in my health. I was also exercising a lot at the time. This was a time for me where everything became much clearer, a lot better in my life. I started to look after myself. And so after being vegan for a little while, I started watching videos by people like Earthling Ed, and then I moved on to Joey Carbstrong. And I watched Joey Carbstrong especially a lot, and he was talking to a lot of people in the street. And I just loved the guy. Like, so much respect for Joey. And I thought, I have to do this. I can't sit here doing nothing for the animals. Like, I really started to care a lot more than I'd ever cared about anything. And I began to realize that just being vegan is actually the neutral position. You're not contributing to the harm, but you're not doing anything to solve it. We like to say we're saving animals, but really we're just not killing them. We're just not condemning them to death, right? So once I realized that I was in the zero position, I realized, okay, if I want to do something positive, I need to speak. Now, for me, the best way to do that was YouTube videos. I've been making videos since I was a little kid. My first degree is in film and television. I've got 2 failed YouTube channels. And I thought, okay, I've got these skills, so what am I going to do? So then I just started making videos. The first one was about this petition. Actually, Leon in the chat. I did this with Leon and Leon's partner too. We've got a petition up there because the EU voted for Amendment 171, which is to criminalize terms like dairy-free, cheese alternative, vegan cheese, and things like that, because they have the term cheese or milk or whatever. So we're fighting to overturn that. So I started working on that, on the video for that, and I started really enjoying it. And I thought, okay, let's start a YouTube channel, Peace with Reese. And then I thought, okay, what can I do next? And all these ideas were coming to me. So, I'm sorry, this is a really long answer. How'd you become an activist? It just came to me, you know. I have so many ideas for videos now. Like, all the time I want to be making something and doing something for the animals. Going out there. Recently I've been going out there. You might have seen my dog meat videos. It was scary. Not gonna lie. I went with my brother and a friend, and they filmed. They stood nearby, and I just stood there with actually this sign here. See it? Maybe I can show you. It says, "Please sign our petition to legalize dog meat." And it was terrifying. I thought somebody is going to hit me. You know, somebody's going to yell at me. But at the same time, I thought this would be nothing. If somebody punches me, it's nothing compared to the thing I'm standing up for. And I think that's all it is. If you watch videos like Dominion and that kind of thing, and slaughterhouse footage and horrible footage from farms, it gives you the energy to do activism. You don't have to go out in the street if you don't want to. You can, you can make vegan foods and give it to your friends and show them, vegan food can be interesting. You can sticker. You can make memes. I mean, there's so much to do. Right, well, that's the... I guess that's the answer to that one. I'm sorry it was so long. Okay, I'm going to scroll up a little bit and see what I've missed in the chat. Applewood slaps. Yes, it does. Okay, Morrison's Taste Cheddar is my fave. I've had a lot of Morrison's Own and Tesco's Own, and you know what? They're really, really good. I would say Sainsbury's is probably the top for vegan food. I think it's sort of mid-range, so you do get some expensive stuff in there sometimes. But they have so much choice in there. The only vegan cheeses I like anymore are spicy cheeses like pepper jack. Okay, fair play. You got rid of all the hormonally addictive junk that are added to animal ag products. I think that's when I said I was feeling a lot better. I think you're right, Leon. Being vegan is the least we can do. Michelle Lowe had a good video about the damage of backyard eggs. I'll have to check that one out. Apologies if I mispronounce your name. Ibrahim. Hello. And thank you. You think my dog meat thing was so clever. That's very kind of you. Popping the kids to bed. Okay, no problem. B12 found me because of the dog meat video. That's sick. That's because I spammed it everywhere, probably. Okay, so let's get back to some of these questions. Okay, let's check this one. Gab the random guy says, I once dropped a watermelon and it landed on my... Okay. The fact I am biologically an omnivore. Okay, this is a very interesting one to talk about because it's sort of an appeal to nature. It's the fact that I can eat meat, my body can process meat, so I should eat meat. Which I don't think is a good enough reason. And also, the fact that he's an omnivore or we're omnivores, it's debated. I'm not like a scientist or anything. I'm just saying it's debated, and I've seen a lot either side. And the fact is, like, there's a lot of cholesterol, and meat and animal products give you heart disease, they give you all sorts of cancers. 14 of the top 15 causes of death can be caused by meat, and the other one out of that 15 is accidental death. I think I've got something saved here. It's my little activism folder. If I need to quickly reference something, maybe I'll show you some of this later. What have we got in here? Human welfare. Humans are herbivores. There we go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open that in a different folder. In a different window, sorry. Okay, I've lost I've lost the cursor. Okay. Okay, my cursor's missing, so just please bear with me. I don't know what is going on. Okay. Sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on there. But I'll just have to read it out to you. Oh, there it is. I found the cursor. Brilliant. Thanks for bearing with, guys. Here we go. Here's a picture I found. I think somebody posted it on Reddit. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's just a comparison between carnivores, omnivores, herbivores, and humans. So we'll just look at a few here, like canines I'll talk about. A lot of people bring up canines. So in a carnivore, they are... Where is it now? They are long, sharp, and curved. An omnivore is long, sharp, and curved. The same. Herbivore is dull, short, or long for defense, or none. And then humans is short and blunted. I don't know why people point at these so-called canines. Look at that. That's tiny. How can I rip through an animal's flesh with this? And what's more, the biggest canines in the animal kingdom belong to the hippo. A herbivore. I don't know. I just wish people would think a little bit more. Okay, let's go back to these comments. Dairy is desperate. I totally agree, stupid vegan. Okay. We love the memes. Yes, we do. If we were supposed to eat the decaying flesh of another, then why the frick do we get sick when we eat it raw? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've always thought this. We can't eat a chicken raw. We get salmonella. We get very sick. Beef. I'm not going to comment. I'm not too sure. But I know that a lot of meats you should not eat raw. You can get very, very sick. McAuthor. Nice to see you, McAuthor. Being an omnivore means we can survive and thrive on a vegan diet. Is my favourite response. Absolutely. Omnivore just means we can eat both or neither, or not neither. Being an omnivore means we can eat both or pick one. Okay, I've just stumbled on my own words, I think. Let's just stick with MacArthur's response there, that means you can thrive on a vegan diet. Leon says, not only that, but our dental structure is not the same as that of a carnivore or an actual omnivore. Not that it matters. Absolutely it doesn't matter. If we can thrive on a vegan diet, why do we need to appeal to nature and say, just because I can do this means I should? I can do a lot of things. I could, if I really wanted to, I could probably find someone to kill It doesn't mean I should, but I'm capable, probably. You could kill a baby. You shouldn't, but you can. The vegan Mojita, I still don't understand how any human being can think, I, an adult Homo sapien, evolved to drink the milk from a bovine animal. I can't believe that there are adults in this world who drink breast milk still. And not only that, breast milk from another animal. If you were selling human breast milk, people would be disgusted. But we're happy to drink the breast milk of another animal. It doesn't really strike right with me. Stupid Vegan says, we don't need to prove that it's healthier to eat 100% plants to be healthy, in my opinion. The important part is proving that we can be healthy as vegans. I totally agree. And the best way to do that is to make an example. So for myself, I'm a bit of a weakling. There's like nothing there. But I'm moving soon and I'm planning to eat a lot healthier. I'm planning to go to the gym every morning. And I want to start getting some muscle just so I can show people that you can be healthy. I want to be externally healthy. Iona says, I don't think humans are herbivores. We never needed big teeth. We evolved with tools and fire. It's an interesting discussion, honestly. That's why I say it's controversial. I see stuff from both sides. So yeah, you could argue, we haven't got claws, we haven't got good enough teeth, and all these kinds of things. At the same time, we evolved to be smart. Well, we are the smartest animal. So it's a very, very good point, Iona. I'm not too sure. But as Stupid Vegan, I think it was, said, we can thrive. Was it Stupid Vegan? MacArthur said, we can thrive on a vegan diet. And I guess that's the point. And that's what we can say to any argument. Okay, if you can't carry around all of this information in your head to defend veganism to omnis, every argument comes down to, okay, but is that worth the life of an animal? And, it's not. They might say it is, but I think in their heart, most of them don't believe so. Leon, what proof regarding beef r/carnivore is your frenemy, mate? Yeah, I took a look at... Don't hate me again. I took a look at some of Sverage's videos. Some of you may have heard of him. He's a self-proclaimed carnivore. He only eats meat. He goes into vegan restaurants to eat raw meat. He goes to vegan meetups and eats a pig's head in front of people. It's disgusting. But his favourite thing to do is look at that vegan. He's so pale. His muscles are the size of his wrist. But the guy is the skinniest guy I've ever seen. His hairline is here. I mean, he is not a good example of a healthy carnivore. Yeah, I'd be interested to see r/carnivore and see some more cognitive dissonance and just ridiculous claims. The vegan root eater, I think you're conflating ruminants with herbivores if you think herbivores need big teeth. You're probably right. I shouldn't be speaking on this matter. I can just say what... I can just speak to the limits of my knowledge, to be honest. I'm very happy to learn more about that. Stupid Vegan, if we could be healthy eating both plants and animals, then we should be basing it on ethics. I totally agree. Yeah, if we have the option and we're healthy on both, then why not bring other reasons into your decision? Okay, Vegan Gaze is going. Goodbye. Nice to see you. Fee, Sverage is you. Totally agree. Get that on a t-shirt. Lawrence, yeah, nice to see you, Lawrence. To be fair, the likelihood of getting sick from eating raw meat is often much higher in farmed animals, where the processing can produce salmonella, E. coli, etc. Still risks in raw wild meat for sure. Yeah, I understand that, and that's why we get pandemics, the seasonal flu, swine flu, foot and mouth, all these sorts of things from farmed animals, because they're not kept in sanitary conditions. And how can you process this number of animals and keep things sanitary? I don't know. Sverage apparently eats plants too. There's a video of him eating a mango. Wow, that is controversial. This is like me doing this stream eating a chicken leg. The vegan Mojita. Meanwhile, Sverage is white as a fleece and looks like he couldn't take on a little girl. Totally agree. Stupid Vegan r/anti-vegan banned me for asking such a benign question. That's brilliant. I like to go into anti-vegan now and again, but it doesn't leave me feeling good. The Mojita, that little girl will have his lunch money in 2 minutes. I totally agree. Okay, let's check another one out. I... What has happened here? Okay, I don't see any benefit from doing so. I like meat, dairy is used in a ton of cooking, and humans are omnivores for a reason, plus vegan food is mad expensive. Okay, we talked about it being mad expensive. We've also said that we can eat a plant-based diet and be perfectly healthy, so these two last points are out. I don't see any benefit from doing so. Well, actually, Whole Foods plant-based diet is the healthiest diet you can have, according to the... this is the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. That's it. I got it in the end, which is the largest sort of group of its kind. As I think this might be like 100,000 dietitians in there. Everything is peer reviewed, and they state that a whole food plant-based diet, if properly planned, is suitable for any stage of life, including infancy, athletes, and so on. They like meat. Okay, that's an honest point. Dairy is used in a ton of cooking. Well, it doesn't have to be if you're the one cooking. I don't see why you can't just cook without dairy. I don't know. That's like a non-point to me. Okay. What have we got here? Oh, season flu is caused by animal farming. I didn't know that. Yeah, this is also in my folder. Pigs cause flu. Okay, let's take a look at this. The pig as a mixing vessel for influenza viruses. Human and veterinary implications. So it's just in here, really. I'm not going to go through all this, but I'll tell you what. I'll leave it in a tab up here so I remember to put it in the description of this video after the stream. What else are we talking about in here? Sferis drinks fruit juice. He should be drinking blood, surely. Okay. Leon says, I weighed 120 kgs before veganism, weighing about 78-ish now, and I still eat like a food junkie, a junk foodie. Okay, that's really interesting, actually. I think it's possible to be fat, skinny, fit, and any kind of body type on either kind of diet, just as far as I've seen. But I'm very, very happy that you've lost weight. I think a lot of people do lose weight on a vegan diet, on a plant-based diet, I should say. And I think it's because you're a bit more conscious about what you're eating. Not only that, but you can cook without any oils or butters. You can. And I like that you say oil too. So if you're hard set on using something, you've got oil. You've also got vegan butter. Vegan butter has got to be in every country right now. Vegan Vegeta, it's your right as someone who exists to join the boys. Except Sverige, he's gross. Alright. I like this video's just turned into like a big Sverige hate thing. Okay, did it for 2 years and got lazy keeping track of the content and caused some almost quite serious muscle and internal weakness and injuries. That's a shame. That sounds like they haven't planned very well. Either that or they've got some underlying health condition, because this is not normal. And, you know, the science says that a plant-based diet is healthier. Got lazy keeping track. Yeah. I don't keep track of what I eat. I don't keep track of my nutrients. If I'm in an exercising phase, maybe I'll track my protein, but that's it. I don't know many vegans who do track it, so I wonder what he was missing. Serious muscle and internal weaknesses. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. That's very strange. Should we see in the replies? Oh, I actually replied to this. This is an old one, so I've never really had to keep track of anything. I think most people are deficient in something, vegan or not, so it would do us all good to check what we're getting every now and again. There's a range of vegan diets, but if you're whole food plant-based, I'm not sure why you would experience any disadvantages. And I stand by that. We're all deficient in something. And you know what? While we're on the subject, B12. Most people are deficient in B12, not just vegans. A lot of people bring up vitamin D. It comes from the sun. If you live in the northern hemisphere, you're not getting enough vitamin D most of the year. We all need supplements. We all need it. It's just, I don't know, I think it's something to pick on with vegans. And I think that maybe because vegans, or when you change your diet, you do look into this stuff. So vegans will say, oh, I don't get enough B12. Maybe I should be eating that. Because they're just more conscious. Okay, what have we got here? Yeah, got too lazy keeping track. Leon says that's the issue. You could be right there. Hot take. Protein is overrated. Very interesting. I heard that there's such a thing as too much protein, and it can be really bad for you. But I don't know enough about it, to be honest. The vegan Mojita, it takes about a week of tracking your food to be able to know what you're getting in general. Okay, that's some pretty good advice there. Iona, veganism is the exclusion of certain foods rather than a specific diet. So whether it is healthy or not depends on what you do actually eat. Absolutely. If you say you're vegan, I don't know what you eat, I just know what you don't eat. You could eat Oreos and Doritos all week. You could drink pop every day. Or you could be whole food plant-based, only drinking water. You could be exercising every morning. It doesn't tell us. Vegan is a philosophy, it's not a diet. Stupid Vegan says there's apps and websites that make it fairly easy to track. Leon, I was just about to say, yeah, Leon, Chronometer is a very good tool regarding that. Absolutely. Its lack of even the slightest appeal. No meat, no dairy. What is the enticement when I can be perfectly healthy without cutting those things out of my diet? Well, two things really. I can be perfectly healthy without cutting those things out of my diet. Maybe. Yeah, why not? Give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you can. I don't know for sure. I know that you can also be perfectly healthy while cutting those things out. But the reason that people are vegan is not for themselves. It's not for their health. It's for the animals. Okay? If I don't eat dairy and I don't eat meat, no animals are killed in my name. That's it. I mean, there's nothing more to say. I mean, it just so happens that environmental concerns and health concerns also fall in line with veganism, which, I don't know, it's just incredibly fortunate, I think. But that's not the reason to do it. You should care about animals. If you have empathy, if you have mirror neurons, you should be able to empathize with an animal. You wouldn't want to see your pet in this situation. I have a genetic GI condition that requires... Okay, I'm not actually going to comment on people with medical issues because I'm just not the right person to be doing that. I'm just going to call myself out there. A lot of commercial food is fortified because of deficiency in many people. Absolutely. Bread, cereal. A lot of staples are fortified. If you look on the side of cereal packets, they've got iron, they've got B12, I think they've got vitamin D, calcium, everything is in there. We need it. We need supplements. My hate for cooking and food prep, I'd have to put more thought into it. So, again, just somebody being lazy, unfortunately. I think you could just go vegan for 1 week, or take the 22-day vegan challenge, which I've got linked down below, although I think everyone here is vegan. And you'll get a mentor, and they'll tell you what to eat. You know, you could be lazy still. You can be a lazy vegan. I don't know. It's just such an excuse. Dairy, I love it too much. Already a vegetarian, but can't go vegan. Well, you see, the problem with dairy, as we all know, is that if you drink milk or cheese or any dairy product, you're responsible for shooting a baby cow in the head. And also, if you're a vegetarian, like I was forever, you know, I was vegetarian for like 16 years. And I was responsible for this. But what I didn't realise for most of that time was the dairy industry is the beef industry. Because after 4 or 5 cycles, that dairy cow is killed for beef. So you're kind of subsidising beef. The fact that the cows produce so much milk, I think it's 150 pounds a day of milk, is ridiculous. We bred them to do that. They're in a lot of pain because they give so much milk. That's why you see them willfully going towards the dairy. Because they're in pain. They need to be milked because we did this to them. We impregnate them. We put them in this position. And then we pretend we're helping them. Oh yeah, cows need to be milked. And meanwhile, the babies are not getting their mother's milk. They get some sort of supplement if they're still alive, if they've not been shot in the head. It's ridiculous, man. There's no reason to be a vegetarian. Except for ignorance. You just haven't got the education yet, which I totally understand that. But once you have the education, you've got no excuse. And as a vegetarian, you should be, you know, pro-animal rights. That's why people say they're vegetarian. That's why I said I was vegetarian. But you can't be pro-animal rights and vegetarian. Whether you know it or not, you are still abusing animals with your money. You know? You can't be an ethical vegetarian. That's it. That's it. Like I said earlier, vegan is 0. It's neutral. Okay. The vegan Mujita says, too much protein with not enough fat can result in protein poisoning. I'd never heard of that. I have heard a lot of protein is bad, though, so I will be looking into that. Veganism isn't about oneself, Leon says. It's about all the innocent beings that human animals have been abusing, exploiting, raping, and murdering for pleasure. I felt like I should have censored myself then. But no, he's absolutely right. All of these disgusting things we do to animals, we do for pleasure. Nothing more. Just pleasure. Just for taste. The vegan diet is so non-specific, it's misleading. There are many diets we can have. You're right, stupid vegan. I think you should rename yourself to Smart Vegan because you're really coming out with the good facts. Aura. Nice to see you, Aura. There's no genetic condition requiring someone to eat animals. As far as I'm aware, you're 100% correct. And actually, I think the opposite is true too. There are genetic conditions that require people not to eat animals. I believe there's a tick as well. Just, going off on a tangent now. And if you get bit by this tick, you become allergic to animal products or meat at least. And in a way, I wish everyone was bitten by that tick. Paula Dean's Butt Butter. I love your name, by the way. Paula Dean's Butt Butter. It rolls off the tongue. Convenience doesn't justify the exploitation of animals. 100%. Stupid vegan. Health experts say limiting to cutting out animal products is healthy. Yeah. I switch between whole food, plant-based, and processed crap every few months. I think I'm similar to you, vegan Mujita, to be honest. I'm like, I'm not muscly, I'm not really strong, but I'm not unhealthy. I think I'm just sort of normal sort of body type. Fee says, have you seen Ed's Sanctuary announcement? What did you think about it? I caught the first minute. I'm planning to go back and watch it. I was just a bit nervous to do this stream, to be totally honest, and making sure everything was working. And it came out around 7 o'clock-ish. But I did see the beginning of that, and it's really, really cool. I used to live in Manchester, so, I'm actually in between the Midlands and Manchester. I've still got friends up there. So I hope to do a trip where I go through and hopefully visit sometime. It's really, really cool. I think that's the dream of all of us, right? We want to give animals a safe home. I love it. I love it. Everything... I don't know, everything somebody does for animals or stands up for animals, it just really makes me happy. I feel it in my heart. And that sounds really lame, but it's true. Occasionally I get emotional, sometimes when I see someone doing something really good for the animals. When I watch saves, people go to a pig save, absolutely kills me when they stop for the truck, they film the animals, give them water and whatnot. But when that truck pulls away, absolutely kills me. Absolutely kills me. Because those animals are never going to see daylight again. Those animals are going to be dead in like 10 minutes. And there's nothing they can do. Because they don't have a voice. They don't have... I don't know, they can't escape. They have no choice. They're prisoners. And they're slaves. And they're murdered for us. For our taste buds. It absolutely makes me sick. So, yeah, I like it when people stand up for animals, basically. Okay, Leon says, it all comes from a place of blindness and not wanting to turn your own blinded eyes towards the issue. Yeah, a lot of people talk about having blinders on when they're talking about, people who eat meat. A lot of people are against animal abuse. If I was kicking a dog in the street, they wouldn't be happy with it. They probably would try to stop me. I might even get arrested. So, I mean, everyone is against animal abuse, more or less. Most people are against it. They don't want to see it. They don't want to be reminded that they are actually abusing animals for their taste. They don't want to be reminded. Everybody knows animals die for meat, but they just try not to think about it. They just see the meat on the shelf. That's probably why in this country, in the UK, we don't like seeing animals with the head still on, because it reminds you it was alive once. Okay, what else we got here? Fee, I was hoping his big announcement would be they start a vegan party. Well, Fee, why don't you start... Oh, a political party. Okay, fair play. Interestingly, I saw that possibly the next Prime Minister of the UK will be vegan. I saw a headline, and I don't remember her name. It's a female politician. I don't know if she was Conservative or Labour or anything, but maybe that's something worth looking into if we want to get behind a potential prime minister. Lawrence, yeah. Same, I never thought those pig save videos would make me so sad, even after watching all the other vegan documentaries. I can honestly say I get more sad watching pig save videos when the truck drives away than watching Dominion. And I get sad at Dominion, obviously. Dominion makes me angry. It makes me feel like I need to do something. The pig saves just... I don't know. I just really feel it inside. It absolutely kills me. Leon says, they have a voice. They're not being understood, and human animals also ignore the cries and panic and pain. You've got a good point. They do have a voice. You can hear them screaming. And we all understand screaming to be, get me out of this situation. I'm in a horrible situation. So we can understand, we can interpret what animals mean and their body language. I mean, a pig is more intelligent than a 3-year-old kid. A 3-year-old kid can communicate with us. A pig can communicate with us. It's just basic stuff. It's emotions, sad, happy, anger, pain. This is universal. We see it in like every farmed animal. We can see it, even in fish. They can't scream. We can't hear them anyway. You can see they're in pain when they're suffocating on the boat. Yeah, you're right, Leon. You're absolutely right. They do have a voice, and we just ignore them, just because we can't understand them. Yeah. Okay, food chain. Yeah. So this is another one. Food chain. If we're top of the food chain, why does my overweight diabetic grandmother get her food from a store? Can she go hunting in the wilderness? Because I don't think she'd do very well. Put us in a cage with a lion. We're probably not going to survive that one. And, at the end of the day, does it matter if we're top of the food chain? We like to say that humans are special. A lot of people say, oh, they're just animals. We're special. What makes us special? We got these big brains. We can think about our choices and our morals. Coming out like top of the food chain is ridiculous. They don't believe this. They just want an excuse. They just got to come up with any excuse to justify eating animals. We don't have any reason. A damned if I do, damned if I don't view. And that I don't see anything wrong with the act of eating. I don't see anything wrong with the act of eating. I think this is... I might be using this incorrectly. I think this is a straw man argument. There's nothing wrong with eating. Totally agree. But what if I put a severed arm, a human arm, in a sandwich, in a big sub roll in front of you? Just eat it. There's nothing wrong with eating, mate. Vegans are stopping him going vegan. You literally created an account to ask a loaded question. It's a new account. I'll give him that. You're creating more anti-vegans than vegans, unless that was the point, of course. So you could sit on your high horse and look down on the peasants. I don't sit on a high horse. I'm a vegan. I don't ride horses. Cheese. Casomorphins and weakness. The need to work around to make some recipes I already know and love. Yeah, okay. So you're going to do a little bit extra. I mean, they don't come out the same flavour and texture. Who cares? Who cares? How different is it? If you're having, like, a meaty, cheesy enchilada versus, like, I don't know, like vegetable protein and vegan cheese enchilada. Yeah, the taste isn't the same. What's different? This much? This much is worth the life of an animal to you? I'm absolutely disgusted with the way some people's minds work. Okay, what are we looking at here in the chat? Okay. Take away all our so-called tools, and where do we stand as human animals? You're absolutely correct. Whenever you bring this up, whenever they say, oh yeah, we're top of the food chain, and you're like, okay, let's put you up against a lion. Why do people say, yeah, I could just shoot it? And things like that. People do say that. But if you put yourselves on equal footing, no external help, you are screwed. Top of the food chain, Aura says. Remember the Simpsons food chain diagram? No, I don't. Let's have a look. Oh, yes, I do. But let's find it anyway. My crazy friend hasn't heard of the food chain. Yeah, all these animals go to us, and what I find really funny is this bat here. That's brilliant. Yeah, slugs as well. Just chuck it all in, man. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. We eat all the animals. And the bat one is so relevant now, obviously. But it just harkens back to the fact that we have to suffer with this virus and all of these other viruses because people eat meat. I don't eat animals. Why do I have to be putting up with all this? Okay. Cooking becomes so much more fun when you're vegan and plant-based. I am someone who enjoys cooking, so fair play. I empathize with that, definitely. I don't know if that's like something everyone enjoys, but it might be something like you can start to enjoy once you start doing it. Lawrence says, yes, and you learn so much more about what makes food taste good. You really do. The amount of people I know that don't season their food, don't use herbs and spices, despite, my culture actually taking over like half the world to get spices. Vegans can cook in general. Paula Dean's butt butter. Yes, and Canines generally season flesh with plants to make it palatable. Yeah, it's interesting that, isn't it? That some people don't like to eat just meat on its own. They like to add something to it, like a sauce or a herb or a spice. That's interesting. It's almost like they don't actually like the taste of the meat, isn't it? Be careful with the copyright strikes there, mate. Just a little warning. Thank you. South Park food pyramid. Alright, should we have a look at that as well? Oh, maybe it's this one. Fats and oil's the biggest one. Oh, I remember this episode. Yeah, they keep playing with the food pyramid, right? I'm going to have to watch that again. Okay. What do we got going on? When I went vegan, I had issues for a bit, but more ingredients than you normally don't buy become so much more of a fun thing to do as well. Absolutely. At the moment, I'm experimenting with tofu. I've never been good at it. Whenever I order it, though, it's amazing. So I've been playing with that for a little while. I'm trying to get my hands on some kala namak, which is black salt, to make a tofu scramble that tastes eggy. It's exciting, getting all these different ingredients and finding what you can do with them. I really enjoy it. This person has nut, peanut, and chickpea allergy. Protein options would be limited to almost purely soy. Okay, it's sad that they're allergic to these three things, but I don't think you need to consume these things to be vegan. I mean, beans, all sorts of beans have a ton of protein in them. Okay, I keep reading all these things. Soy isn't good for you. I think they're probably talking about estrogen or estrogen. And the thing is, in soy, we have phytoestrogen, okay? And if you're not a plant, it doesn't really matter for you. You'd have to eat an insane amount of soy, an unhuman amount of soy, to get an effect from the estrogen. Meanwhile, if you eat meats, especially things like milk, actually, they're full of mammalian estrogen. So if you're going to get man boobs from one of them, probably the cow's milk. If you're trying to grow boobs, just forget my last point. There are other meat substitutes, I'm sure, but those start to get exponentially more expensive. Yeah, okay, some of them are more expensive, some of them are cheaper, but like I said earlier, you don't have to eat meat alternatives to be vegan. You can just eat a whole food plant-based diet and you'll be healthier for it. These alternatives are a luxury, the same as meat is. And I'm not going to pretend they're really healthy. Some of them have got a lot of protein, a lot of calcium, B12 is put in there, and all sorts of things. But sodium's also quite high, So for me, it's like a little treat. Gluten-free Ebola. Yeah, I think that was the name of the South Park episode. Oh, I see you're replying to that. Yeah. People are also very addicted to salts. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Leon says, Reese, I will PM you some tips and tricks regarding tofu. Yes! Please do. Please do. I'm going to be getting my own place in about a month. I'm planning to do a bit of cooking. I'm not turning this into a cooking channel, but I might do the odd cooking video. And if I can sort out tofu and make it banging, I'm going to make a video on that. Humans are omnivores. Okay, we talked about that. Personally feel healthier and better when I eat meat and feel lethargic when eating vegan. That's really odd because meat is calorically dense, so you're likely eating a lot more on a meat-based diet. Yeah, I don't know how true that is. I mean, I'm not trying to accuse him of lying, but maybe he's adding a lot of oil to his vegan foods. I don't know why he would be feeling this way, or perhaps he's just not eating enough. Possibly. That's probably it. Yeah, meat is calorically dense, vegetables are not. If you want to get the same amount of calories, you've got to eat more vegetables, that's it. So he's probably just not eating enough. He mostly eats game meat. I think game meat is like hunted meat. It's healthy and super ecological. I take issue with this. Yeah, so maybe it's ecological to hunt, maybe there's overpopulated species and things like that, but at the end of the day, we are an overpopulated species and an invasive species. We shouldn't be here. So I don't really condone people hunting humans, and therefore I don't condone anyone hunting animals either. I think there are probably other ways to go about it, and if there's not, there needs to be a roundtable discussion. I've heard people talking about giving them some kind of injection to make them sterile, and we're getting into eugenics and stuff there, so I'm not going to talk too much about this. But the point is, there are better ways than killing. Leon says, if you consume the decaying flesh from another being, you'll consume more soy compared to tofu or tempeh. Yeah, absolutely. 75% of the world's tofu goes to farmed animals, so yeah, absolutely right. What's your stance on was? WAS was. I'm not sure what you mean, Fee. Just leave another comment there. Leon says, guess it will depend on what they eat regarding their lethargy. Absolutely. Yeah. Level Joy, nice to see you, Joy. Great stream so far, dude. Me and my friends are chilling and enjoying it. Wow. Cool, having a little watch party there. I hope you're social distancing. Okay. Paula Dean. Okay, Leon says, overpopulation is such a controversial thing. We are the invaders. Let them live their own lives. Absolutely. As far as I'm aware, they had no problem before humans arrived. We're the ones creating trouble. We're the ones taking away a lot of the wilderness for farmland, for housing, for civilization. I'm not against civilization, but the point is that the reason they're possibly overpopulated is quite likely due to us, right? We are the problem. We need to fix it without killing. It's ridiculous, really. Fee says, well, the macronutrient that gives you energy is carbohydrate, which meat doesn't have. Absolutely good point. Yeah, absolutely. Carbohydrates are what your brain uses as well, if I'm not mistaken. Your brain runs on glucose. So things like tubers, which is like potatoes and stuff, carbohydrates. Yeah, I don't know too much about this stuff, to be honest. One thing about this channel is I'm learning as I go. So you might notice I had a protein video not too long ago, and I did a lot of research for that, and that was how I learned about it. And because I've made that now, I can now reel facts off in a discussion. So that's something I'll definitely look into. What else we got here? Paula Dean's Butt Butter says, a lot of people first attempting to go vegan are fiber deficient and don't have proper gut biomes, which causes them to have digestive discomfort when they try veganism. And they say veganism doesn't work for them. Yeah, I have heard that you should slowly introduce more and more fiber. It's true that a vegan diet has a lot of fiber because all we're eating is plants. Yeah, I'm not surprised. If you change your diet drastically in any fashion, it's going to have immediate consequences on your body. But long term, you should get used to almost anything you're putting into your body. The same way with taste, you get over taste. And you start to like things, you try them enough. Fee, wild animal suffering. I'm with you. I'm with you. Yes, Humane Hancock talks about it all the time. I love Humane Hancock. He's the best, man. Yeah, it's such a difficult topic. Such a difficult topic. A lot of people like to say we should stay out of nature. Which I agree to an extent. It's so hard. I think it is a problem. I think it's something that we, as a species who are quite intelligent, can at least try to solve. I don't know what the answer is, but I think there are answers out there. I think we need more discussions on the topic. I'm tempted to say that we should stop contributing to suffering ourselves first, but there's no reason these two things can't work in tandem. Absolutely. Iona says the animals that require population control, natural predators, reintroduce their predators. Yeah, this sort of goes in hand with what Fee says. It's such a difficult thing, because by introducing these predators, you're introducing suffering. But at the same time, if they're overpopulated, there's less food, is suffering. It's such a hard topic. I don't have any answers, but such a hard topic. I saw a thought experiment on Reddit a few days ago, and they were talking about if you went in the forest, you saw a pack of wolves and a deer, and they had the deer surrounded, and you had a gun. What would you do? And your options are you can kill the deer, so it dies immediately, reducing suffering. You can fire a shot to scare the wolves away, but then the wolves will starve, so there's suffering. I'm not sure what else you could do. Just ignore it and let nature take its course. That deer's going to suffer more. It's such a weird thought experiment. I don't have an answer. I really don't. But I would like some really intelligent people to discuss the topic. Humane Hancock is in the forefront of that, I think. He's put himself in the forefront of this discussion. Definitely go check him out if you haven't already. Level Joy says she is social distancing, of course. How do you feel about the potential triggering of ED's argument? ED as in eating disorder. I'm not gonna tell people to go vegan if I don't understand their health concerns. I understand ED to an extent, and I have spoken to people who have ED. And this is where I'm the kindest that I am to anyone, I think, when I discuss veganism. And I say something like, if this is something that you want to pursue, you should do this with a nutritionist or a dietitian or whatever. The most important thing is that they recover. We're talking about a mental issue here, really. The most important thing is they can recover first, and then they can look after others. Look after yourself first, then you can look after others. It's difficult, it's controversial, because in that time, there are animals suffering on behalf of that person. Yes, it's a very, very good question, Joy. Yeah, I'd like to tell them to work on themselves first, and I would like them to pursue it. I'm not going to push them. And if they want to pursue it, they should do it with a dietitian who can help them. Someone who's qualified. Leon, a harmonious way of living. We as human animals can multitask. We can do so many things, good things at the same time. Absolutely, wild animal suffering and reducing our own suffering. Eliminating our own suffering. Absolutely. Fee, I'm sure we can come up with a more compassionate way of controlling the population growth. Absolutely we can. I think when we get rid of a lot of these dairy farms and slaughterhouses and all these kinds of things we don't actually need, when we move towards a more vegan society, so much land is going to open up for rewilding. I believe the UK is now giving subsidies to farms to open wild areas on their land. So slowly it's going to go that way. Slowly we are reducing suffering in the wild by reducing suffering in farmed animals. So it's a really nice solution there. Leon, I would let nature be nature. It's a difficult one. I don't know the right answer to this, you know. I'm open to discussion on this, absolutely. Leon, Fee is telling Leon to check out Humane Hancock. He's really cool. Do check him out. Okay. I've never talked for this long. My throat is kind of sore. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on, but I am quite enjoying this, so I might stay a bit longer. This person just says bacon. I like meat. It's nice. Okay, if you think that your taste pleasure is worth more than the life of an animal. Okay. Our bodies and digestive system aren't made to eat plant-based food only. So for the human diet, it's healthier to eat meat. Science would disagree. I talked about the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics earlier. They would disagree. They would say that it's perfectly healthy to be eating a whole food plant-based diet. Because a small part of the vegan community is so aggressive and pushing other people to eat vegan. I mean, if... I've heard something before I find quite funny. When I was in school, there was a girl and she was always pushing anti-bullying. And it's all she ever talked about. She was like giving little speeches in assemblies. She was always like handing out petitions for us to sign, going on and on and on. And when I maybe like picked on my friends, she would go on and on and on at me, shoving her views down my throat. Anyway, after school one day, I saw this one kid being beat up by a group of bullies. And I was actually going to help. And then I was thinking back to this she's really annoying. Thinking back to this really preachy, militant, anti-bullying woman. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to give her the benefit. I'm not going to, give her what she wants. Screw this kid, you know? I think that's how people are thinking. They think, oh, wow, I'm really going to show this vegan by harming animals. Even though the animals did nothing to me, I'm going to harm them because a vegan was mean to me. It's ridiculous, man. Okay. G-Berg Stacks. I haven't seen you in the chat yet. Nice to see you. A good way is to spray and neuter if the population cannot be controlled. As far as I'm aware, yeah, that's the best way. And I think that's the way we talk about pets. Because pets are an unnatural thing too. We shouldn't really be having pets. Yeah, okay. I hate this question. It's only ever here so the vegan diet can be shoved down your throat, no matter what reason is given. I don't mind shoving my views down someone's throat, since this person is shoving their views into the throat of an animal via a knife. But why are you getting so offended? And, the question is, what's stopping you from going vegan? Imagine the question was, what's stopping you from going to Rome? What's stopping you from exercising every morning? It's not an offensive question. They're just getting offended because it's pointing out that they're doing something wrong. I honestly, I think they know they're doing something wrong. Okay. Fee says, what's your stance on anti-natalism, Reese? Good question. At the moment, I'm saying I'm not going to have any children. And if I ever were to change my mind, then I would opt for adoption, because there's enough children out there already. I also am well aware that the world is dying. We have only a few years left to combat climate change, and it seems nothing is being done. I see a lot of suffering in the world with humans as well as animals. A lot of the world is going to be underwater soon, especially in around the equator, in sort of third world countries and stuff. You know what? On an environmental perspective, no, you shouldn't have children. You should adopt. On a biological perspective, I understand that innate desire to have your own children. I think it's an animalistic thing. I think you don't need to. I think you can fight that. It's a very good question. I just think there's enough children out there that maybe you shouldn't have your own. I feel really awkward. My sister had a baby literally last week. So I'm just saying for myself, just my own personal perspective, if I were to have a baby, it would be an adopted child, baby or teenager, At the moment, though, for my lifestyle, I like to work abroad and things. It wouldn't work for me personally. Paula Dean says they are so offended because they know they are doing something wrong. Jibberg Stats. It's more of a last resort that is probably the most reasonable solution and non-harmful given the theoretical situation. I am also not anti-natalist. It's a controversial topic. It really is. Yeah, I absolutely understand why people are anti-natalist, and I also understand the pushback against it. Having a child of your own is a selfish stance to me. Like, you don't want a kid, you want a mini me. Yeah, a lot of people have that perspective, Leon, honestly. Okay, personal preference. Humans are omnivores. Enjoyment, budget. We talked about money already. I think if you're just starting out on veganism, it's the easiest way to do it is to swap meat for fake meat, cheese for fake cheese, milk for soy milk, and so on. So, yeah, your budget might actually go up, But once you get comfortable with it, you can start opting for cheaper things. If you eat beans over meat alternatives, you're going to save a bunch of money. Like I say, I spent like £20-25 a week. Personal preference, for me, is not a good enough reason to kill an animal. The sanctimonious attitudes of many vegans. I don't care. I tell you what, I do not care what people think about me. I don't do this for you to think I'm cool or amazing or better than you. I don't think I'm superior. In fact, I would say that it's the people who eat meat who think they are superior because they're the ones who think they're better than animals. Yeah, I don't care what people think about me. I just want to stand up for the animals. And, if you hate me, but my message gets to you, then I consider that a success. Okay, I think I'm going to keep going until 9:30, guys, about 15 more minutes. So if you have got more questions for me, send them in. I would like to stay longer, but it's just the most I've spoken in like a year. So my throat is absolutely killing right now. But if you want to, I can come back. I can do another one maybe next week. Okay. I don't see anything inherently wrong with eating meat, as long as the animals were actually treated well. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter how well you treat an animal if you kill it at the end. In fact, it's more of a... what's the word? When you go back on someone, you tell them... It's like a breach of trust. I can't think of the word right now. Yeah. It's like you could treat a kid and take it... Every excuse somebody comes up with, take it to the human context and see if they still accept it. Because if they don't, that's not the excuse. That's not the reason they think it's okay to eat meat. Yeah, so if we took a child or human, gave them the best life, give them the best food, lots of toys, whatever they want, and then one day, doesn't matter how quickly, painless, quick, they don't see it coming. Most people wouldn't say that was okay. Oh, G-Bug Snack saw this in their recommended. That's good. That means YouTube's pushing my content. That's excellent. That makes me really happy. Okay. Oh, let's see that. Plus, if more people went vegan, wouldn't that be as bad, if not worse, environmentally? Because how much room we'd need to grow plants. People seem to forget that animals also eat. And most of the crops that we grow go to animals. I think I've probably said something there. You can see I've already been here. If you care so much about reducing crops, then you should be vegan. It's that simple. Okay. Oh, Nikolai, hello. Haven't seen you here before. Do you think comparing the Holocaust to animal agriculture and Slaughterhouse is an extreme comparison? Excellent question. I love this question. Okay, bear with me. Personally, I think it's not extreme. I think if you swapped the animals out of industrial farming or a slaughterhouse and put in humans, you would call that Auschwitz. You would call that a Holocaust. The thing is, we're putting animals in there and people don't see animals as victims in the same way they see humans. And that's not to say that humans and animals are the same. You don't have to believe that. But you do have to believe that animals have the capacity to suffer in the same way as humans, which they absolutely do. That said, even though I think using the Holocaust as a comparison is factual, I'm not sure it's the most effective comparison to make, because people do take offence and they won't listen to your points anymore. It sounds offensive and it sounds argumentative, it sounds aggressive. Even though it's factual and it literally fits the definition of a Holocaust, people aren't going to listen to you. So it is better to work within their mental framework to get them to understand. It's the same thing when we talk about artificial insemination. We call it a word that starts with R. And it absolutely is. If we did it to a human, it would be. But because it's a cow or another animal, we don't consider it so. So, yeah, if you're arguing with someone who eats meat and is trying to defend it, don't use the word Holocaust. Maybe don't use the R word. Try to work within their framework and they will be more receptive, in my opinion. Excellent question, Nikolai. Leon says, it's like my abusive parents going like, we gave you a roof and we let you sleep. Sorry. And we let you sleep here while still abusing me. Yeah. It's like people who eat backyard eggs. They feel like, okay, I'm giving these chickens a home, I'm petting them, I'm giving them toys. And honestly, I believe these people really care about their chickens. But the thing is, the chickens don't owe you anything at all. You chose to look after them. They don't owe you their eggs. And we talked about why eating their eggs is bad earlier. Nobody owes you, no animal owes you anything because you're doing something nice to them. Okay. One dairy farm will suffice a whole plot of veggies for a large town or city. I didn't know that, Leon. That's really cool. That's really good to know. Leon, Reese, it's the same as when you say murder instead of killing. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, when you Google the word murder, the definition, it does involve humans. And it depends which dictionary you go to, whether it does involve humans or not. People take issue with semantics, and it's a shame because all you're doing is speaking factually, and you're just trying to get it to hit home. I'm gonna go back to this. If I say a cow is artificially inseminated, it sounds a lot more friendly than what's really happening. If I use the real word, people can't cope with it. I don't know. I think it's either they really don't believe that animals are victims in the same way that we do, or I don't know, they just think humans are special, or they really don't believe that animals are murdered. Okay, let's go for a couple more. It's easier to have a balanced diet by eating meat too. I'm not sure what they mean by a balanced diet here. I think they probably mean getting all your nutrients and things like that. The thing is, yeah, meat has a lot of nutrients inside it. It's got like your calcium, your heme iron, which is debatable if that's good or not. It's got protein. It's got many good things. I'm not going to lie. But it's also got a lot of bad things. It's got cholesterol. It's got hormones. It's got saturated fat. I mean, you don't get these things in plants. So I think, like, if you do a little bit of planning when you switch your diet, you could easily be more healthy on a vegan diet. Most vegans are healthier than meat eaters. And it's normal to do. Okay, yeah, I agree, it's normal. It's the typical thing that's done. But, like, it doesn't justify anything. In some countries, it's the normal thing to... what's the word? Genital mutilation of females is the normal thing in some countries. Circumcision is normal in America. Child marriage is normal in many places. It's wrong. We all acknowledge it's wrong, right? I don't care if it's like part of culture or anything, or if it's normal or not. It's wrong. That's it. Okay. Leon, human animals are speciesist. It's why the dictionary is wrong. Well, like I say, actually, like, it's just that one dictionary, the main one that comes up on Google. I don't know which one they use. Well, let's have a look. I'm not sure if you're going to see this. Murder. There we go. The unlawful, premeditated killing of one human by another being. Human being by another, sorry. It doesn't actually say where this is from. Oh, this is straight from Wikipedia. That makes sense. Yeah, but if we look at another definition, like Merriam-Webster, that's killing a person. Dictionary.com, another human. Cambridge, killing human. Human. I'm telling you, I've seen it. Oh man, I wish I never Googled this now. I'm sure I've seen this to mean it doesn't have to be a human. Killing of another person. Oh, just an instance of killing there. To kill another human. To kill brutally or inhumanely. To put an end to or destroy. Yeah, well, there's an argument there, isn't there? But you know what? The word slaughter is disgusting anyway. And we all agree that slaughter is what happens to animals. Society's normal, mind you. It's why going against the grain is so heartwarming. Like abortion in Poland being such a heavy topic currently as well. Yeah, you go against the grain if you do it for the right reasons. You're going to get a lot of respect, honestly. I'm not going to approach the topic of abortion and things like that. I just don't want to associate my channel with one way or the other. Because I don't want to alienate anyone. So I hope you understand that. Grumpy Vegan Grandad, good to see you. A person means personality. Animals can be a personality. Thank you, Grumpy Vegan Grandad. You came in at just the right time. I love that. Okay. I'm going to save that in my mind for the next time I have an argument. Okay, guys. I'm going to wrap this up soon. Please, if you want to get any questions in, that would be great. I just really wanted to sort of introduce myself. I've got this channel, but mostly I'm behind the camera, just showing images and things like that. I just wanted to show you who I am, show you like my sense of humor and that kind of thing. So you see me as a person. It looks like most of the people here are vegan. If you're not, if you go into the description, there's a link for Challenge 22. Now, Challenge 22 is a vegan challenge where you sign up to be vegan for 22 days. They put you in a group with like-minded people doing the challenge at the same time as you in your area. They give you a mentor to help you pick the right foods, pick the right restaurants and stuff. And it's totally free. Even if you have a medical condition, they can accommodate that. So you should definitely check that out. We've got Veganuary coming up. The whole world, there's so many people around the world going vegan for Veganuary, for January. So you should definitely look at this. If you are already vegan, in every single one of my videos, I put a vegan action you could do, an activist action in the description. So this time, there's this horrible epidemic, really, of fake animal rescue YouTube channels. So these people will put animals in danger. They might put a kitten with a snake or bury it up to its head and that kind of thing. Really horrible stuff. And then pretend they find it and pretend to save it. And they find dead animals a lot of the time too. It's pretty disgusting. Please go down in the description. Report as many of those as you can. Don't comment. Don't watch. Don't like it. Don't subscribe. Okay? Don't give them the satisfaction. Don't let the algorithm promote it even further. Just report them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me just look through the last little bit. Yes, Leon, thank you. We have a beautiful petition as well. Yes. Let me just load that up. Let me just add that there. You should be able to see this now. We have this petition. We're trying to overturn Amendment 171. Amendment 171 was passed by the EU, and it was to discourage the words milk, cheese, butter, even things like butter style, vegan cheese, soy milk, things like that. They want to get rid of it. They tried to get rid of the words burger, sausage, schnitzel, and mince, but they weren't very successful. But now they're trying to get rid of all sorts of things. So really, we really need you to sign here. I'm going to put this link in the description as soon as the stream ends. We really need you to sign it. We're going to be sending this to the MEPs around the EU. And hopefully we'll get this thing overturned because it's disgusting. And at the same time, you know, the meat industry is just so... Oh no. Oh no. Hello? I just stopped the stream. Okay, I think it's back. Fee says, should we report these under violent or repulsive content? Yes, there's not a specific thing for animal abuse, unfortunately. So yeah, please do that. Yeah, anyway, please check out that petition. That'll be in the description once the stream ends. Yeah, I didn't cover every argument. You're right, Iona. I had to go. Maybe I'll have to do another one. Really good first stream, Reese. Thanks, Fee. Mr. Turf, I've enjoyed this. Thank you. Grumpy Vegan Grandad. The farmers are doing a £1.5 million pro-meat campaign in January. Well, that's really bad news. We're going to have to do something about that, aren't we? We'll look into that. We'll try to do some videos about that. Paula Dean says, thank you. I looked at all these links and they seem to be taken down for me, which is good. Oh, brilliant. That's excellent. Leon, proud of you, mate. You've done an amazing job for your first live stream. Thank you so much. Paula Dean says, for me, when I click all those links, it says page not available. Is it every link? Okay, I'll have a look at this once the stream ends. I'm not sure why that was. Yeah, I Marley says she sneezed and thought something went wrong. No, I tried to stop sharing that window. I accidentally stopped the stream for a second. Okay, guys. I really appreciate you all joining me today. I really enjoyed this. So yeah, I'd like to do this again if you're up for it. So in the meantime, take care. Remember to like, comment, subscribe and all that crap. It will not only help me, but it helps promote the message of veganism. And please do this on any vegan video or animal rights video that you find that you think Omnis or Canines should see. It's very, very important. For people to see. We need to help the algorithm push veganism. All right. Thanks very much, guys. Talk to you soon.